We just lost Rob just as we launch. Welcome to the One Loco Hoops Happy Hour. Rob Benson going to be joining us shortly. Justin Jarrett along with Coach Fish. And Rob was just getting set up and settled. And then as we went live, he popped out of here. So we do have a guest in the house, and he's got a hard out tonight. So we're going to get quickly into it. Fish, you and I were both out at the Cove tonight, and it looks like Robbie's back. We were both out at the Cove this afternoon, actually noon tip-off to see USCB men against Fayetteville State. It was an entertaining game, 114-112 win for the visiting team, the Broncos from Fayetteville State. But we got the coach of USCB with us tonight, Coach Ron Fudala. He's going to have a hard out, so we'll have him for about 15 minutes here. But how y'all boys doing, first and foremost?
Doing well, man. Always a good day. My Vandy girls got a dub against Michigan today, stay undefeated. So it's always a beautiful thing on a Sunday.
10-4. Your guys finally tripped up, but
lost 2 in a row, man. Got Arkansas Tuesday, so see if we can get it back,
like that.
Get it back together.
And Robbie coming in hot. You good over there, Robbie? Mark twice if you're in Milwaukee. We don't know about Rob, but we'll see if he gets settled in here. Hopefully he can find some service. But as mentioned, we got a guest with us tonight, continuing our string of tremendous coaching gets for this conversation, talking about the status of kind of hoops in the Low Country and talking philosophy. We got the architect of that USCB men's basketball program that has really come up out of nowhere these first 2 years and now into year 3, making noise, tied for first place in the Peach Belt Conference. And we got Coach Ron Fudala with us tonight. What's up, Coach?
Coach JJ, thanks for having me. It's good to be here. Love seeing you. Love seeing you, Coach Fish. Hope we can get Rob back on. Glad to be here.
I think we got Robbie back in the mix now. You there, Rob? I don't know. We got 2 Robs. Which Rob is Rob? Is either one of them Rob?
Had this problem last time.
Yeah, we're having trouble with Rob, but
I had to kick him out, man. Kick him out.
But Ronnie, what's going on, man? Tough loss today. As we mentioned, 114-112, but one of those games that you throw on the schedule there because you have the bye, so to speak, on Wednesday, don't have a conference game there. So you throw one in there on MLK Day and iron sharpens iron type of matchup. And we talked a little bit after the game, but, just an opportunity to expose yourself a little bit and see where you need to improve as you try to finish this thing off. You've clawed back into it, tied for the league lead now, and looking good. But I know today you saw some things that you'll get to use against them on tomorrow in practice, right?
Yeah, you said it best. Iron definitely sharpens iron. That's why, big-time players want to play games. They want to play in big games. We didn't want to just have another bye week and not challenge ourselves. I told the group yesterday, I said, would you rather practice Monday or play a game against a really good team? That's an NCAA tournament team. Fortunate that they could come down, but fell a little bit short, but a lot of things to get better at. But, yeah, I love playing on MLK Day. I've kind of done it almost every year at my other places. This opportunity to give back and provide some community excitement just fell a little bit short.
Yeah, it was definitely a thrilling game. I thought that a lot of foul calls, man.
Yeah.
Say the least. I thought it was cool though. Y'all kind of were a spitting image of each other as far as style of play. There was a lot of chess match between you and the other coach going on. And I mean, I enjoy watching you guys play to this point. We have a lot of people who are middle school, high school parents, kids who watch. There's a ton of narratives around recruiting and how recruiting gets done these days. Can you kind of talk some about how at your level you recruit? Like, is it more high school? Are you AAU? Do you hit the portal? Just kind of what's your philosophy around that?
We honestly recruit all over the place. We say this, if you're good enough and want to be at our place, we'll find you. So it's kind of twofold. We're at AAU events, we're at high school games, we're at junior college games, we're out there in the summertime. We hit the portal during the appropriate time. I like homegrown guys. I love freshmen. I like 4-year guys. I like junior college guys that have showed some loyalty for a year and two at their respective junior college. And we like the portal as well when guys leave. I don't want to say when they leave for the right reasons, but when the opportunity presents itself and it's in both parties' mutual interest to leave and hit the portal, and then we look for some experienced guys to fill some needs. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag. It's not like we're saying, okay, we need to go get this amount of this or this amount of that. It's more, let's evaluate what's out there. Let's see who really fits us, what we really want to do, try to identify some guys, see who really wants to be here, and then kind of go from there. It's not a lot of guys, like, they want to know, how do I get recruited? You play and help your team win, and if coaches are doing their jobs, they'll find you, you know.
And then what kind of, because you kind of deal more in the margins, right? Like there's not a AJ DeBansa coming to USCB, there's not a Darren Peterson. So you get guys that are kind of, what separates kids when you're going out and you're looking at and watching them play, since things are kind of so marginal at that level?
Yeah, we really try to do a great job in identifying tough players. So we're looking at, you know, what are the things that are you doing out there that impact your team winning without scoring? If we can identify those, are you setting good screens? Are you diving on the floor for loose balls? You know, are you walling up on defense? Are you trying to take a charge? How are your interactions with your teammates when you're running off the floor? Can you make a winning play without scoring? Probably says a lot about your personal character. So we try to do our best to identify that. And that shows up through those things I talked about, because once you get to this is really, really high level basketball. A lot of people got it confused. It's like we can, and it's everybody, like, no knock on any teams or anybody out there, but when you're in the category of the us's and of the, you know, the Landers and the North Georgias and the USCBs, you know, and UNC Pembroke, I'm just talking about teams in our region, Lenore Ryan Anderson, you know, Lincoln Memorial, those top 10, 15 teams in the region, those teams are every bit as good as a lot of the teams that have a number one next to their name. They're probably even better, most of them. So it's really identifying guys that have a love for the game of basketball, that want to come where coaches can really work with you and really help you grow your game. And playing for, I don't want to say playing for the right reasons, because who knows what the right reasons are, but it's playing for the love of the game, not necessarily the love of the number or the love of the arena or the love of whatever else. It's just the love of playing basketball and being invested in something that's bigger than yourself and having a great experience. But we try to identify that through how kids are playing. And a lot of times it's evidence, you know, we're not perfect with it. We don't always hit 100% with it, but we think, you know, as we continue to watch and identify, if we can identify those qualities and hit it about an 85% rate, we're doing a pretty good job as coaches.
Rob, have you joined us?
I have, man. I've been having audio difficulties or streaming or something of that nature, but I did see the end of the Wizards game, so it's clearly working a little bit. Have we covered style of play and
No.
And okay,
Coach Fish, did I answer your question?
Oh yeah,
What's
you
that?
did, yeah, for sure.
Coach Fudala, I was going to ask you a question about style of play. How did you get sort of indoctrinated into the style of play? You know, when did you determine or decide you were going to play the way you are? You guys are a run and jump sort of all game long, 84 feet, 5 in, 5 out, right? Like energy on energy. Give me your best 3 minutes, because the next 5 are coming in, and then I think later in the game you guys start to ride the playing well in that particular day who's got matchup advantages or whatever. But how did that all come about? Because certainly you guys put points on the board, and it is frenetic at the very least and fun.
Thank you. Yeah, you said you got it pretty spot on, Robbie. A lot of people think it's random chaos. It's really not random chaos at all. There's theory and thought and process that's involved, kind of just like you said. I've been very fortunate. I've been very blessed in my career. I coached high school basketball for one of the greatest high school basketball coaches of all time, in my opinion, and we pressed and played fast. So I learned it a little bit there, and then I went off to Santa Clara, and I was with Coach Sendek. We played a little bit different, played a little slow. Then when I went to Portland State, we pressed a different way. Then IUP, we played slow, but we played a different way. So I had the opportunity to work for guys that had, you know, the system, the quote unquote a system, not the system that a lot of basketball gurus talk about, that had a system, whether that's a slow system with sets or whether that's a fast pressing style system. And I because of my personality and my energy, Coach JJ knows, I always thought to myself, if I'm ever fortunate enough to get an opportunity, I'll play a way that fits my style. And I knew that was pressing. So then it's like, okay, how do you do that and win? So that's when you kind of use your experience from other places and kind of blend it in and be a pseudo copycat, but you be a copycat in one area, make it your own in another. So that's kind of where it began, and we're still molding it. We're still adapting it. I think you look at it across the country, it works. West Virginia pressed and for a couple of years, and it worked, and now they don't press. VCU and Shaka Smart used to press at VCU, and now he's at Marquette and he's not pressing. You got Bucky at A&M pressing, and that works for him. But there'll be a time where maybe he thinks he needs to do something a little bit different. But I thought for here it was definitely the right fit because it's an entertaining style of basketball, and we're really building a family when we're building this program. So how do you win and build a family at the same time? And you got to play a lot of guys. You got to play an exciting brand of basketball so people want to come watch it. And then you got to figure out a way to make it work. So I think all three of those connected when the opportunity at USCB presented itself. So I thought it was kind of a magical fit. And I was fortunate to have a little bit of experience in it and try to get the right guys that fit and want to buy into that. And that's how we kind of did it.
Quick follow-up on probably what Coach Fish was talking about a little earlier, which was how do you recruit, portal, this sort of stuff. Once upon a time, my daughter and I were out to lunch at One Hot Mama's in the bar. You with the family and or basically having I think it was an official visit, maybe a lunch or an official visit after showing campus or something of that nature. Mm-hmm. What is that like for kids? Like, what do you do when you come here? What's the process to show off the school, or to let them know what they're in for, above and beyond style of play, or how competitive the Peach Belt is, for example?
Yeah, we use those two for sure. But we're blessed. Like when you step on a campus, it's beautiful, right? We're so fortunate here at USCB, and I'm so proud to be here. Like it's funny. And I'll get back to your question, but like one of the referees came up to me today and he said, "Man, Coach, I've never been here. This place is amazing." It's like the campus on a beautiful day, it sells itself. Mm-hmm. So we have that advantage. And we value that. And sorry, Rob, what was your second part of your question kind of?
Well, I was just going to say, in terms of when you get recruits here, what exactly, above and beyond, obviously they're here for system and whatever their major is and that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I'm assuming you're selling beach or you're selling whatever.
We talk about beach. What sets us apart from others? We think it's number one, our beautiful campus. Yeah, the beach is obvious and stuff like that. Style of play. We show them the film. This is exactly where we think you fit. This is why we're recruiting you. We develop guys. Look at our history of developing guys, both from and back to your prior question, couldn't have done it without our assistant coaches. Like Luke Dyer played in a pressing style system at West Liberty, hired him. Coach Flowers coached in high school. They did some different things pressing. So hired him. So it's not just me doing this. Okay. There's more thought to it. Got to give credit to those guys, and that's why they're here. But yeah, we show the recruits the film, and this is where you fit, and this is exactly what you do. But what our advantage is if you look, and this is kind of amazing, there's a stat. There's the website that has all the NCAA stats. Some of them are a little bit inflated and this and that, but there's an attendance stat. And if you pull that website up and you can rank every single school in list of attendance capacity. Okay, so that's like how percent full is your venue, whatever you play in. USCB is number 1 in the entire country. So we really tell guys this, at least it was the last time I looked at it, and it will be by the end of the year for sure. We have the best atmosphere in the entire country. Like, I truly mean that, and we value that. And that's so it's not just, it's the community getting involved, the students getting involved, the professors showing up, the faculty members, the staff members. So we really take pride in that. Like, we have the best atmosphere in the entire country. That doesn't mean the most people. That doesn't mean the best venue. That means the best atmosphere for a college basketball game in the entire country. Look, it was proven last time, and we sell that. And even if we were in the top 50 of that, there's 350 some teams or whatever. Even if we're in the top 50 of that, we still have the best atmosphere because our gym is so loud, and guys, like, do you really love basketball and you really want to play in an atmosphere like this with your brothers as a family and try to accomplish a common goal? We try to sell that, and we mean that. It's easy for it. It's not even a sell. We mean that. Like, I want any of you to go to any other Peach Belt game and tell me what atmosphere is better. And if for one game, maybe the entire year, when somebody has an education day game or somebody hosts a regional or something crazy like that, other than maybe those games, USCB, the Cove, we got the best atmosphere in the entire country that I've seen. I'm sure there are some great ones out west, maybe, but our atmosphere is the best.
And you have a heart out, Coach. So do we need to let you get going here?
I got time for one more. Go ahead.
All right.
I'll be a little bit late for the 6 o'clock meeting.
Get in there, boys.
Fish, you want one?
Does that answer your question, Ron?
I mean, like I said, when were you at Santa Clara?
I was at Santa Clara 2015, 16, I believe. It was second year.
It's funny you say Santa Clara out there because when I guess you were with Sendek out at Santa Clara, that's about the fastest as Herb's played, I think, in his career. Like the end, and Arizona State, like he slowed it way down.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you've kind of taken what you've taken away from all that. But what do you see as the major obstacles to getting to where you guys want to be at the end of the season, which I'm sure is making a run in the Peach Belt and all that? Obviously, you opened the season with the same team that you were in the finals with last year. Didn't go quite your way that day. But what are we looking at going down the stretch here?
We just want to keep getting better and growing our family. We want to really keep telling our guys we got to keep investing in each other. I got to keep investing in the assistant coaches and in the team and making us better. We like to think that we're the challenge is us. Regardless of win a bunch of games, lose a bunch of games, can we just stay the course? We use the quote, "If you stay, you will be a champion." If you stay, you'll be a champion. Now, you can use that within the game. If you stay with the game plan, if you stay with the process, you will be a champion of that game. If you stay with us and what we're doing in our family, you will be a champion in life. You're going to learn something here that you will be a champion in life. So if we stay the course, if we keep growing in our decision-making, if we keep growing in our trust, we got to trust each other. If we keep growing in our shot selection, if we're talking particular basketball, our shot selection, our screening, how are we reacting to teammates? If we just keep trusting in each other and investing in each other, we're going to get the results that we want. And if we don't, we're going to learn from it. And that's what you do when you play for USCB basketball. You become a better basketball player and a better person that can help you in life.
Amen, brother. Well, we appreciate you. We love what you're doing over there, what you're building. Tied at the top of the Peach Belt Conference. Old habits die hard. Peach Belt Conference. Or are you half game back or are you tied? I thought you were tied.
Don't have a clue. I'm worried about the next game.
Oh, half game back, I guess,
Yeah.
of Lander. But regardless, it's jumbled up there at the top, and we're right there in the mix after kind of a rocky start and a lot of road games to start. So a lot of home games coming down the stretch, which is
Teams aren't trying to play in the Cove. It's hard to get a game.
Yeah, facts. Well, we appreciated Fayetteville State coming down today for a nice little matinee, but we'll let you get to your meeting, man. But thanks so much, Coach, and best luck the rest of the way.
Have a great one. Thanks for having me.
All right,
Take it
Coach
easy,
Ron
Coach.
Fudala. Coach Ron Fudala, the USCB men's basketball team, off to his meeting. He stayed a couple minutes later than he was supposed to. He's going to be late for his meeting, so we appreciate that. But love that guy. Love the energy. I've told the story before, but the day that they announced that they were starting basketball, I got a text, an email actually from a coach who was very interested in the job and wanted to talk to me and had done his research and knew that I used to be the SID there, and I had started my own media company, and he wanted to kind of get the lay of the land. And that coach was Ron Fudala. And at the end of that conversation, I thought, well, if they don't do any worse than that, they're going to do really well. And obviously he ended up being the guy, and you can't argue with the results so far. In year 2 to be in the Peach Belt Conference championship game was incredible. And now they look like, they're going to be a perennial contender in this league. I mean, they're one of the teams to beat again this year. And, a tough start to the conference season. They had some illness and injury through there and lost, I think, 3 of the first 4, but now sitting at 7-3 and looking good. So right there at the top. But you got to see them today, Fish. What'd you think?
Yeah, wasn't necessarily their best game.
No, it wasn't.
They missed a lot of layups in the first half. Those noon tip-offs, especially middle of the week, get kind of tricky. They never play on Mondays, never really play during the day either.
Yeah.
But I mean, for them to hang in, fight back, claw back into that game, I mean, it easily could have swung the other way. Easily could have been 15, 20-point blowout. But I thought they hung in there, and they finally got that competitive edge kind of kicked in that second half. It's a lot of talking out there today, man. A lot of talking. I enjoyed it. That's the benefit of that type of arena, man. You're right there.
You're on top.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit, because I was so interested in the fact that Coach Fudala leaned in on the Cove, and Justin and I have talked about this over the last year or two about how, I mean, that's a retrofit. That's not a best case scenario. That is, we got D2 coming. We best figure it out. And boy, did it become a best case scenario out of what was, something we really couldn't even envision hardly. It's a lot of fun in there. And I mean, it's not big, but it does, and they're always working on game day environments.
That's what's wonderful. You look at these games, some of these other places, and there's nobody after like the 3rd row of seats in this giant bowl. And it just feels so dead in there.
It does, man. And I mean, the thing is that, I mean, I was talking about this with my daughter earlier too. And, we've been watching some, D2 and D3 games, and like they pack it out compared to low D1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they pack it out compared to low D1, and it's, and there's a lot more students who come to at the D3 level. A lot of students come to the game. So like yesterday, they, USCB benefited by the whiteout and having all the kids on campus, right? I think it was sponsored by student housing, or whatever the whole whiteout was. So, I mean, they're doing a good job, not just with, putting quality product on the court, but operations up there is doing a nice job creating a game day vibe that, is better than most, even on down to Finnegan, who, Fish is a huge fan of the Stomp. Huge fan of the Stomp. Yeah, but
he's great.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. They have a game day environment, and then I think it helps that they're by Sun City, so there is sort of like a little built-in. Hey, let's it's pretty close to Sun City midnight, but let's go see a game real fast before we turn it in.
Yeah, there's always been great support for USCB athletics from Sun City. And I mean, naturally, you got so many people there who have backgrounds in sports in some form or fashion. And a lot of them are volunteers and the table workers and that stuff. What's that?
I know I said it before, but there should be a lot more high school kids, man, going to these games, especially ones that have a desire to keep moving forward.
I agree.
Middle school too, like you might as well start learning and watching. And I think the biggest takeaway you can get is just simply how hard they play and how hard they compete. I mean, you don't even have to know what's going on. but you could just see that,
Yeah.
and it's a whole
And how
different
many good
atmosphere,
players
man.
there are. I mean, every
Well,
Yes,
game, there's a few
like he
guys
said,
there
man.
like,
People kind of scoff at like D2, or
yeah,
people have all these D1 dreams, and it's like, man, especially if you're a guard, there's not a lot of difference between the D1 and D2 guards.
no.
Like inevitably, those teams you get difference in the bigs,
Yeah.
yeah.
but the
And
guards,
every
man, it's
game we
real
see
marginal.
guys that if they were 2 or 3 inches taller, they would be playing power 4 and we'd already know their names. Like that Aquino guy today, number 10 for
Yeah,
Fayetteville. If that
imagine
man
he
was
was 6'11".
6'8" instead of 6'5", my goodness, if he was 6'11",
Yep,
he would be in the NBA by now. Like he was a grown
yep.
man, physical presence, and then the guards were exceptional too. I mean, it was really high
That's
level
big,
basketball.
man.
But that's a
People are
huge point, though,
strong.
Fish.
Oh,
I mean, that's a huge point Fish makes in terms of the local kids. If that's your
Mhm.
aspiration to play, first off, you got to, come up with, you have to have a circle that'll let you know exactly who you are. And
Mhm.
then you have to be okay with that. But at the end of the day, there's few and far between. Now, Justin, when we called that game out at USCB a couple weeks back, Hampton County came down, the Hampton County boys.
Mhm.
And then I think Salk was down
Yep.
there as well. So, like, there was good
HHCA
support on
boys were
that
out
night.
on
But I
what,
can
Saturday?
tell you,
Yep.
we tried to get some of the H230s who were with
Oh,
yeah.
there was oh, there you are. We lost you for a second. You tried to get
There was
some
a
30s.
couple of the kids on the 30s before practice who went out, and I can tell you they hadn't been to a game like that, and they were kind of they weren't shook, but they were like, man, it's fast.
Yeah.
It's a lot fast.
A lot
That's the
faster.
biggest thing, and that's why I think kids need to see it. They need to see
You
how
there?
big. Yeah, you keep cutting out, but kids definitely need to see how big and fast the game is at that level, and understand that this is a higher level of basketball than your
And how
used.
competitive, man.
Yeah,
Like it is competitive.
it is extremely competitive. And the women, the USCB women, how about them?
Yep.
They are right there. They're the ones. They're a half game back as well, sitting at 7-3.
But I don't know
Back
how they do it sometimes, man. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know how they do it sometimes. But hey, they pull off some of these games, man.
They
They are
keep
right
doing
there.
it. They just
They
keep
keep
doing
doing
it.
it. Yeah.
They've done it on the road a ton, and now they're doing it at home as well. They beat North Georgia, which had been the first place team, so they're right there in the
True
mix.
team effort too, man. Like you never really know who's gonna show up game to game, and it's
Right?
always someone different. It feels like.
Yeah,
So
Janiyah
yeah,
Hayward
I
with
enjoy
a huge
watching them
three
play too.
yesterday, and then tonight
Oh yeah.
Bowman knocked down the free throws down the stretch, or not yesterday, but Saturday. But yeah, they just keep winning. They're clutch, and they are gritty. I mean, they are a gritty team. They just fight for everything, and yeah, I wouldn't have predicted this after the first 2 seasons. I wouldn't have predicted that they'd be quite where they are this year, but they're right there, and we may get a double header in the first round of the Peach Belt tournament with home games for both teams, which would be absolutely incredible. You back with us, Robbie? Perhaps not. We're having problems with Robbie. But all right, Fishy,
I'm sort of here.
there he is.
Sort of.
What do we want to talk about? We want to talk about I guess the elephant in the room is May River started 17-0, and then back-to-back L's to Hilton Head and Beaufort, which that one was a little bit puzzling.
Yeah,
So
that was. And they were down badly.
21 at half. They almost came back and won. They lost by 1, right? Or 2.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah, I was at that Hilton Head game. I mean, look, man, I said it when I did my power rankings. I had May River third, which
yeah.
I still think they can finish third, man. There's just not a lot of talent, man. Especially once Luke McMahon went out, once he was done for the year. I mean, you got KJ, and then, man, it falls off. I think at Beaufort, he had 30 plus, and then the next highest score had maybe 6. and it had to have been similar situation at Hilton Head if he didn't have 40. Like he's trying to put the team on
Yeah,
their back. There's
I
not
think he
many
had
options
like
to go to.
34. I think he had like 34 against Hilton Head.
Yeah, man. But that's what we talked about before. Like that Kentucky style of ball is great when you have kind of a team of equal parts. But
Mhm.
this type of situation, man, there's a lot of people who touch the ball who aren't really a threat. There's a lot of times the ball's in the guy's hands who have to make a decision that they don't scare you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I mean, I still think that their style of play and how well they're coached that they'll get wins. I think they'll finish top 3 still, but I mean
Mhm.
that's a tough loss right there, man.
Yeah, they gotta turn some things around, and Bluffton's looking good all of a sudden. They're
Yeah, they're
3-0,
starting to gel.
starting to
I
come
think
together.
Yeah.
I think Max and Moss might be playing, man.
Really?
Word on the street, they may be playing tomorrow. I think they're gonna be playing this year.
So
I don't know
I
if it's
was
gonna be
under the
tomorrow or not, but
impression that if you transferred after the start of the season that you had to sit 30 days and then you were ineligible for postseason.
now the only caveat in their situation, I think, is they didn't play with anybody.
Yeah, they weren't playing.
Oh, they never played at HHCA.
They
No,
never played.
not this year. Yeah.
Oh, now that's a different beast, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know the dad appealed and all that, and I think I heard they were at practice maybe today. So I don't. Yeah, they may.
That would be very interesting.
That's a game
Little
changer for
twist.
them.
Sure is, and in that region where the margins are pretty narrow, that could really be a difference maker to add a couple of pieces like that. So
I mean, the way it's looking right now, I think they'll win the region regardless. To be honest,
They
I
beat Bishop. How bad? How
first
bad they beat Bishop England?
um
15 or
13,
something.
14,
Yeah.
something like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
double
something like
digits.
that. I mean,
It
they
was
already beat Hilton Head. They beat Colleton. They played
15.
Buford and
They beat
May River.
them by
That's the first time
15.
through, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean they've
After this
already
week,
got
it'll be the first time through.
they got 2 in the loss column on everybody but Colleton. So they're
I'm
in
talking
pretty
just
Yeah.
through the region, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
mean,
mean.
Yeah.
They're 3-0.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else has 2 losses except Colleton, which only has 1 loss. But they're 1-1.
Yeah, man. I guess you got a big one. What? I mean, they play Buford tomorrow night, which don't sleep on Buford apparently, and then
No,
May River Friday.
Buford seems to be
Oh,
figuring it out, which is that throws a wrench in things. But yeah, Bluffton at Buford tomorrow night. May River at Colleton. I guess Hilton Head is off because they played one more than most
man,
people.
that's the one right there, man. They should win the region, man.
Hilton Head.
From a talent perspective, yeah, man. Just from a talent perspective, matchup, like they're a tough matchup, man. I mean, they were a tough matchup for Bluffton.
And they may
Bluffton ended up beating them by
they
13.
may get yeah.
Yeah.
Battery Creek still undefeated in the region, 2-0. They beat Hanahan the other night, so they already had the win over Oceanside, which was obviously huge. But they haven't seen Orangeburg yet. But somebody beat Orangeburg.
yeah.
So, who?
Yeah.
In the region?
Yeah, got to be Oceanside, right?
No, not that I know of.
I think so.
Huh.
Let's see scores.
I'm checking them out.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, Oceanside beat Orangeburg 52-41 on Friday.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
Craziness. Speaking of Orangeburg Wilkinson, oh boy, today number 0 was from Orangeburg Wilkinson for Fayetteville State.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was pretty solid.
And
Senior.
Yeah, I think he averaged like 21 a game or something like that.
Yeah, he was pretty
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
They
Give him
got
that.
some ballers over there at OW. So yeah, Battery Creek sitting 2-0. Still got to play OW. Still got to play Oceanside again. Obviously, North Charleston never easy. Hampton's rolling. They're not going to face a whole lot of competition in their region, but they got the goods to potentially make a run. They play a fun brand too. They're not afraid to throw it off
yeah,
glass and throw it down. And they'll go full Globetrotters when they get a big lead. So you might have to go check.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
yeah, I haven't seen them yet either. I mean, like right now, I mean, it's pretty. It's still. all 6 of one, half dozen the other, right? So Battery Creek, I said effectively we think they're moved up in the power rankings at all, just by virtue of being 2-0 region, got the Oceanside win, right? Beat Hanrahan. I'm not sure how good they are.
Yeah, and they climbed into the top 10 in the Coaches Association poll too.
Did they?
Noteworthy,
I mean, you like to see that. CJ goes hard and certainly is, instilled a certain culture over there where they definitely try to get in the gym and encourage their kids. So you like
Right.
to see that, and definitely the hard portion of the schedule is still sort of is in front of them. I was thinking about I'll tell you who had a good week on the girls' side last week was Colleton girls. They went 2-0.
Yep.
They got Bluffton and they beat Hilton Head last week. So get a little feel for how that region's breaking down. Meanwhile, they've been blitzed by Bishop England, who has now, in 1 week, an average score of like 30 something to Beaufort, right? Nia went crazy. So that region's all but over.
Yeah,
girls.
Beaufort girls are going to cakewalk that one, it would appear.
Yeah, absolutely. And so they're going to walk through that. And
we had a little bit of a shocker. Whale Branch girls knocking off Hampton County after losing.
My girls' power ranking is just Beaufort, man. That's the only one to me worthy of just even being ranked.
No,
man.
I'll give props to Prep for going on the road and beating Hilton Head Christian, not because of what either team's necessarily putting on the floor at the current moment, but just historically, that's been a tough W for Prep over the years. Now I think they've gone back to back, going on the road. Yeah, where they've gone 2 years in a row and gone to Hilton Head Christian and won. Hilton Head High School is keeping stuff on the girls' side a lot closer than I thought they would too. I mean, they only lost to Colleton last week by 3 and to May River by 2, I think. So they're super, super young, and they don't have, they don't have a tremendous amount of culture in and around the program where they're in the gym, but for them to be able to show up and kind of represent and be close is sort of interesting, I think, because some of those teams are getting wiped. I mean, May River had the injury, went to Cross and got drubbed by Cross by 25 or whatever it was, 21, 22 last week. JP2 bounced back. So, yeah, I mean, you're right, man. It's just Beaufort out there on the girls' side right now.
Hey, Hardyville girls got the first win.
Yep. Yeah. Saw that too. Yeah, shout out to them.
Took down Royal.
Yeah.
Held them to single digits too. Great defense.
What a game that must have been to watch.
It was played in the Hardyville Rec gym, which feels appropriate.
That is the game of the week by a long. By someone had to get it. It's just
somebody
by law.
Was getting a dub. And I think we get to play them at our place too, so we have something to look forward to.
Maybe we should set up a remote from that game.
We're extremely
live remote,
extremely inexperienced, but it seems that we're getting better. I mean, it'd be hard to practice every day and not. So it is what it is.
Maybe JP2 girls could make up for that St. Andrews loss this week. Can they play them again Wednesday, maybe at home?
They
do?
They flipped that.
I believe so.
I mean, St. Andrews, I think, has lost like 5 of 7. So it would be
one of those was a 15-point win.
Yeah, one of those was over JP2. So I think, and then so that's one of those where you would hope to see JP2 be able to bounce back there just by virtue of. Because that was really out of character. I mean, look, JP2 doesn't have high-end kids, but they have a collection of decent kids. And they move the ball well and all that. And I just thought they would have a little more depth-wise to wear. So we'll see how that goes this week. But, yeah, for the most part, I mean, I don't think on the Skeezo side of things, the girls can really – there's no girls on this side. Skeezo they can't run past what? None of them can win a game in states, can they? JP2, no.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, depending on who they match up with first round.
Well, maybe. I mean, wouldn't they have to be like in the top. Okay, so you have to be in the top 4 to avoid the top 4, right?
Oh man, I
Is
don't
it
think
8?
season has any parameters. To be honest with you,
Yeah, nobody knows what
Yeah.
they're.
So
I
yeah,
think
no
they'll.
one
I
they
think
make.
they'll get a cupcake round one if I had to guess.
Yeah, they'll get. Well,
Because you
they'll do
got
no worse
the
than
First
third in
Baptist and
the
them have to buy and all that.
region, but I mean, I
No, I
guess it's
mean,
how they finish
I
in their
mean
region.
yeah, I just mean in state. So like, if you
Yeah,
look at it, like I mean, they would have they're going to run into one of those top 4 seeds quickly. Is really all I
Oh
was
yeah,
going
yeah.
sure.
for. So
Yeah, I mean,
they're the best team
certainly
here
by the
that has a
second
chance to make a run. Maybe Buford. I mean, but I mean the question I think like what would be a high watermark for Buford would be what
Third
like
round,
the round before lower states maybe.
yeah, third round,
third round,
maybe
maybe.
lower state if the bracket falls out.
I
Right.
mean, they got to see what like a South Point at some point.
Well, they'll be upper state. But you could
Didn't
see.
Bluffton play them round one last year?
Yeah, I mean they're gonna. Yeah, I mean they can't actually make a run.
Yeah, so maybe
Yeah,
third round. I have some home
you're
games.
gonna
So
run
maybe
into
okay.
some Florence area teams. You're gonna run into some, that's
I
who
mean,
usually trips us up is the Florence
don't
Darlington.
they have like grades and stuff like that in there?
Who's that? Gray? Yeah, I mean they'll be in the lower state bracket, yeah. And with it being the way it is now, where they use the RPI, it's much more random who you get matched up with. It's not just based on region versus region. For a while there, it was like we were matched up with the Florence Darlington region in the first round every time, and therefore could beat our one most years.
It's like that with the boys too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all RPI based now. It's they use region finish, so the region champs are automatically 1 through 3. The region second place are automatically 4 through 6, and then all the rest is at large based on RPI. So
Okay.
yeah, so it makes it the seeding a little
I
bit more.
find Buford. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I think the Buford thing is interesting. They're certainly talented, and he is an incredibly high-end kid, for the area. But like, it gets to be one of those things where, you're just dealing with a lot of competition and a lot of depth out of
Yeah.
both upstate and Columbia and all that. It's just going to be it's an uphill battle. But certainly they got a swinging shot when you got a superstar who's got the ball in her hands most of the time, right? So,
Yeah.
hopefully they can make a run out of it. But yeah, they're also hard to gauge, man, because the only good teams they've truly played, they've lost to.
Right.
The only team, I
I mean,
mean, and that was like
it'd be
depending on how you
Ashley
gauge
Ridge.
Bishop
Ashley
England,
Ridge,
right?
decent, right?
But I think Bishop England.
They beat Ashley Ridge. That was pretty.
Well, Ashley Ridge though went to the States last year, but graduated the entire starting 5.
Right.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
because now they're big kids, Jameson, and she didn't start last year.
Right.
She didn't start last year.
Buford's 9th RPI.
So they graduated everyone. So honestly, Ashley Ridge playing as close as they have kind of speaks well to their program more so because this is a good minute and a good.
Have we talked about like the
so,
reclassification?
So yeah, Ashley Ridge though.
No, we really haven't. So it's not going to change.
Yeah, I mean,
on for us. Hilton Head lost their appeal to try to go to 3A, so they'll stay 4A. So we'll keep our region basically together. Bluffton, May River, Beaufort, Hilton Head. Beaufort also appealed and lost. Colleton, and it looks like we'll get Lucy Beckham back instead of Bishop England because Bishop England's going to 3A. And Lucy won their appeal to go down to 4A from 5A. So the biggest change, so nothing really changes there. Battery Creek's going down, though, to 2A, which is great for them. They can be much more competitive there. And then 1A is getting bigger, so it's going to absorb a lot of 2A. So Whale Branch and Hampton will both go down to 1A. And instead of having 2 divisions in some sports in 5A, we'll have 2 divisions in some sports in 1A for the next 2 years. So, yeah, it's a whole mess. If we have more than 25 teams competing in any given sport in 1A, then we'll have 2 championships. and they'll divide it down the middle. So it's going to be, just a new mess for 2 years.
How about cross schools going 3A?
Oh yeah, the Skiza realignment. Cross going 3A and going 2A for football. That's crazy.
Did Cross Sacks petition to
They
get
had
back
to
down?
appeal that.
I mean, they weren't listed as
I mean,
one
they
of
had
the
to appeal.
teams that appealed to stay in 8-man, but surely they will.
Yeah,
I mean, they didn't even win a game in 8-man.
No, they won one game, and that was against Conway Christian, which is not one
That
a game.
was with Jared Shaw though. That was before the fraud Shaw came in. That one they haven't won a game with.
Yeah, and then that's true. And then the other side of it is that I mean, I think in Max Preps they're like in the bottom 100 teams in America. So I mean, how are you going to move teams up that their average? I mean, look, they did a little better this year in terms of their average margin of defeat, but it was legitimately like 40s and 50s for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to appeal down.
It's
not good for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't go to 11-man football. That would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, look, they have this thing where they want to. They're all about perception and all that kind of stuff, but the reality is that's dangerous for the kids. Like they can't compete in 8-man at all. In fact, they had more injuries last year than you could shake a stick at. So
what's that region
need to get out of that.
like
anyway,
in other sports?
What's that?
What's that region look like in the other sports?
The Skiza 3A.
Because I mean, they just won I know the girls just won the region chip, beating Holly Hill and Andrew Jackson in the same week. So I know that region chip's done with.
Yeah. I'm trying to find.
Y'all.
I had a post of it here somewhere. Somebody had posted it for me, but it got buried.
Is Prep 3A still, or are they moving up?
What's that?
Is Prep moving up to 4?
Yes, I believe so. I know that. Well, I know they and Hilton Head Christian are both 3A for football again.
In girls basketball, Prep's moving up to 4A.
Are they?
Christ, man.
Ouch.
But they're in basketball. They're going to be 4A girls, for example.
Yeah, that's what it would be.
Well, I think I'm trying to find it.
Wow.
It's buried in here, but I do have the Skiza realignment.
Is that just because all these schools are like being created every year? Is that why everybody bumps up, or?
Man, I don't know.
I mean, Cross's
up.
upper school went to like 109. They have like 109 kids now. I think like a couple years ago, they're like,
there's one school listed
96 or something. So
there's one school listed in the Skiza realignment that has a
growing incrementally, which is
6.
I mean, look, Justin, wasn't there some team in?
Yeah, Thomas Hart had 6. Yeah. So I don't even know what sports they would be able to play there, but
check this out.
I
talked to the athletic director at Heritage Academy the other day and on the island, and he told me that there was a real possibility that they got reclassed to 2A. I was like, don't you guys just field golf and tennis? And he's like, yeah, they, just by our enrollment, we might have to move up to 2A. And I was like, okay. So
yeah, it's kind of
admittedly,
wild.
they're probably a golf and tennis juggernaut. Actually, I know they are because of all the schools in the area. All the schools in the area, guys, they're the only ones that I know of. Tell me if I'm wrong here, Justin, because you traverse the area on all the various schools. But they now have on the 278 like one of those big green signs that said Heritage Academy, like to turn on to Pope Road or whatever it is. New Orleans Road is where it is. Turn on to New Orleans Road, and it says Heritage Academy, home of like 3 different state champions.
Oh, interesting.
They got Hilton Head. They petitioned Hilton Head to give them a sign, which Hilton Head doesn't have any signs anywhere, but Heritage has got like a whole billboard. Not a billboard. It's legitimate signage. It's But
They
it's
weren't
like
just
what you would see
part
at
of the
US when you come across state lines and it says like USC Women's National
yeah,
Champion.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
home and national
It's like
champions.
I feel like I may
Interesting.
have seen that
so.
sign. Now that you say something.
Interesting. I know May
Yeah.
River just got a new one out on New Riverside Road.
Yeah.
That's
No, I just realized it.
yeah. But yes, Hilton Head Prep is going to 4A according to
Man,
this proposal.
Okay, so they have
JP2.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Carlton Prep will be 3A. Cross will be 3A. Patrick Henry 2A. Buford Academy 2A. Thomas Hayward 1A.
man.
Complete Student Swamp Rabbits 1A.
So who's that 3A region? The local 3A
Holy
region?
Kennedy 1A. So I'm gonna guess it'd be Cross, Colleton. Yeah, probably gonna get a
They're gonna have to travel.
Orangeburg, Cathedral, Clarendon,
Oh, Cathedral moved up too?
Calhoun. Those are all potentials. That's gonna be a traveling
Oh yeah,
region.
High
Calhoun.
region.
That's the backroads region.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun.
Good times.
Now, here's something interesting. I heard that Bethesda, Bethesda just rolled everybody in 2A football, and I heard that they petitioned to go up to 3A. They asked to go up next year, which respect.
Respect it. Yeah, I was gonna say, I respect that move.
Gotta
They
give
should do
respect.
that.
Everybody else is begging to
I
go
mean, that's
down.
super solid.
Bethesda's-
That's
yeah,
yeah.
good on them.
All
right, boys. What are we looking forward to this week? You got any games you got your eye on?
I'll be honest. Nah. I got the May River Bluffton maybe Friday.
Yeah.
Outside of that one, not too
That's
many.
smart.
Got Hardyville Ridgeland, always a blood feud. I want to be at Ridgeland on Friday. Tuesday, you got WHHI game of the week, Bluffton and Beaufort.
Yep.
Neither one of those games. I mean,
I think Amira's going for 1,000 point.
Tonight,
Hey,
like
can we talk
on
1,000
Tuesday,
point etiquette?
or not
Man?
alone.
Can we talk
What's
1,000
that?
point etiquette?
Yeah.
Like,
Go ahead.
it doesn't have to be this big ordeal, this big lead up to announce, oh, hey, I'm gonna do
16
1,000
points to
points.
go.
Yeah, man. Like, because you get a situation like at Cross, big lead up, kid doesn't get it.
Yeah.
So now you got to do it again. So if
Yeah.
someone who scored 1,000 in high school, scored 1,000 in college, just let the kids get it when they get it.
Yeah.
Recognize
Yeah,
the
man.
game after.
I mean, and then here's the other thing. Max Preps has her over 1,000 a minute ago.
Oh, she's been over 1,000. I was her coach.
So that
and
she
as
be-
a coach,
yeah,
if I
she's
have
been
my person trying to go for 1,000, let's get them the ball early in the game. Let's not
Yeah.
wait till we're up 20, try to press and try to generate a layup off of a steal. Let's maybe go give them the ball a little early in the game, man. Get it out the way. It's an anxious feeling, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is an
No,
anxious feeling, but then beyond that, it's also
naturally.
It also has like no class because like you're now pressing up on kids you've already beaten to get a kid personal accolades that legitimately shouldn't even be in the game. Yeah. So like there's that aspect of it too if you want to get old school with it. Best to Amira. Amira's long been a good player in the area. I think, she low key is one of the first person like this was a topic of conversation. Not that she brought it up because I think the Max and Moss thing too is choice schools and or the one transfer rule. I mean, is that truly the portal now, right? Like, is that how you get? Is that how So is public now private?
I mean, seemingly so, man. Seemingly so, especially if you look across the state. If you look across the state,
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Myra moved. She went from Bluffton to Beaufort, which is, I mean, I say this with respect for Beaufort. If you're going to go by state rankings, is a considerably worse school than Bluffton, and not on May Rivers above both in that regard. to go across for to play basketball, to go win a region which they've already won, and like you hope that stuff is worth it, right? Now I think the Hilton Head Christian stuff's a little bit different. I feel like there's sort of drum up interest in basketball again, but they roundly sort of gave up on the sport.
Yeah.
So those kids bailing, that's sort of a different beast.
I
There's
think there's like
rumors.
a part of I don't want to say like fear mongering or whatever, but like, bro, people feel like they're missing out, or like I think a lot of
FOMO,
parents or a lot of people
FOMO, so much
don't
FOMO.
necessarily know what to do because there's so many options, so many choices thrown at them now. Especially
Mhm.
when it comes to like development or trying to get to where you want to go and your goals or whatever the
Well,
case may be.
There's a
that
lot of
was a
people
huge.
selling you a bill of goods.
Yeah, and I mean that's a huge portion of, like we have all these young talented kids in the gym, and their parents are beside themselves on like cultures that match the effort that the kid has already shown, the family's already shown, the amount of dedication they're putting towards it. Like, who's going to match that energy? So around here, you get into this situation. Hey, we got into the situation where you're either chasing academics or you're chasing basketball,
Mhm.
and because there's not a good solution for both. And I
Right.
think that's a sadness for the kids and the parents of the area. So consistently, everyone's trying to create something.
Hey,
You
but see,
know,
I know you and I have had that conversation before too about like, I mean, at the end of the day, these parents still also have to be realistic about like what their child is or isn't,
Right.
and
for
when they
sure.
make these moves, like you said, am I gonna make it more of an academic move? Am I gonna chase basketball but hurt my academics chasing basketball? Although in my head, I might be something that I'm not. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well,
I
that's
think,
that's why that happens though. So like if you're
yeah,
clear about who you are and what you're ceiling, like you, Luke, man, you're a P5 guy. You could jump around all day long, and guess what? They're coming with you. Like, the scouts, the recruits, or the media, the coaches, they know where you are, because
Mhm.
but a lot of these kids who are like, have always been, D2 level or really below D2 if there's a high commitment to it, right?
hmm
Those sorts of kids, I think that they they get a little lost because it's not what they thought they were going to be, right? And then, okay, how do I place myself in a situation where I can, okay, well, I need to win or whatever. And so I just think there's, handlers. Parents are notoriously the worst handlers. They don't know
yeah,
anything, and then they just move their kids willy nilly, and it doesn't make sense a lot of the time. They don't even look at systems. I mean, so, going back, I mean, like, look, real talk, you talking about Amira. Amira's a very nice player for the area. Amira, if she digs in, can find a place to play college ball somewhere. But like at the end of the day, they went across town an hour and they've won a region, but they're definitively second fiddle now.
Yeah.
hmm
Like there's no shine there beyond Nia. That's Nia's show. I mean, they
Yeah.
play Bishop England, which is the hump they had to get over, and it was Bishop England 31, Nia Hayward 31.
yeah.
I think she had more out of it. I think she had 32.
Okay. I mean,
I
that's
think she
that's
beat
the
him by one.
but the greater point is like, yeah, maybe by virtue of, okay, now you're saying, okay, Nia brings heat to the table, there might be more eyes on Myra. Maybe that's something you could like justify, right? But at the end of the day, it it has that Kevin Durant leaving the Thunder going to the Warriors kind of feel. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and I mean, and I think that makes sense. I mean, they had a personal dilemma, I think, with coach and vice versa over at Bluffton. So they took it, I think, to the road for that reason. So with that, that's a whole different beast,
Hey,
right? But
that's a big thing too, man.
a
Like,
huge thing, man. Huge thing. Like, you
good
got to get
Lord.
along, and you got like your mentals matter. Like, all these kids get in there, they're all stressed all year, especially the good ones. They're stressed all season long. They're not getting the shine they think they deserve. They're not getting the volume. They're not getting the reps. They're not getting even like getting looks in the spots they're used to getting looks in or whatever, right? Nothing's being run for them. I got to do
Well, see,
everything.
I think that's more of the issue, though. I think that a lot of these people are just kind of searching for a place to, I mean, just simply get better. Like, I
That's
mean, at
it.
the end of the day, my advice to anybody is just stay or go wherever you're gonna get better. I mean, even
That's
me
it. That's
being
it.
a P5 kid, whatever, I went to school where I was going to develop. Like, to me, this is the most important time as a basketball player to develop. Because we talk about all the time, like up till 8th grade, 7th grade, like for me, I could care less what you work on as long as you're in the gym. Like you can mess around, do all these moves, this, that, and the third. But once you hit high school, it kind of starts becoming about IQ and starts becoming about okay, like knowing the game and like how to score or like where to space the floor and things like that, which you don't find a lot at any of these schools. And so I think they just get caught up in searching. I think they get caught up in some of the hype of, I guess, just college basketball or wanting to win, like thinking that, oh, maybe winning is going to do it,
Yeah, I
not
mean, there's a
understanding that there's a certain look to it.
Yeah.
Like, so,
well, that's the thing.
oh,
That's the thing too. And like, even if you look at what we've tried to do on the travel side of things, it's meant to look a certain. I mean, like now it's my non-negotiable. I hate that term, but it's like the one non-negotiable is like we're trying to look a certain way, and that way is how colleges would want us to look.
Right.
but you know, it's funny, even to that point, like
Yeah.
I can tell the girls in their coaching because, okay, so the one set I put in, right?
Yep.
You see some girls who pick it up. You see some girls who need to be told like what the next part of the play is, right? But the play is, all right, so we got you go, I got a girl who cuts off, right? Person with the ball, you gotta look, see. She's not open, okay, move it. Now you got a back screen. Okay, now that's another option, right? And then you swing it again, you got to screen the screener. So the girl comes back up top. Now when she catches the ball, she got an ISO situation. She got a situation where she could come off of a screen. She comes off the screen, you got one who rolls, one who replaces. Off of that, she catches it, she looks, sees what she has. She can attack it there. If not, she just follows it to like a dribble handoff, right? To a pop in the corner. But it's like all it is concepts, but I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I just want you to look, read what's going on, and then
In
make a
reality,
play off of it. If you
yeah.
have nothing, cool, we have something going on. Now, some girls understand that. Some think it's a play. Some
Right.
some can't even remember it. But and for me, it goes back to kind of like prior coaching. Obviously, a lot has to do with the household and like the parents' vested interest, or like maybe you have a dad telling you and teaching you the game. But so a lot of it to me is like just how you're coached, even from like your middle school coach. You know what I mean? You can't simply execute a play. That's not the kid's problem. If she just goes scores 35, your coach is happy with that in middle school instead of actually trying to help develop these kids along the path, like to help them in the long term.
Well, and then to further that, if you just look at, and we're talking within like a scope of sort of what Matt and I are involved in right now with this one little team, but those kids, um, like he said, they all come from different backdrops and they're picking things up at different times, and their exposure to basketball is vastly different. Do they sit with their parents? Don't they sit with their parents? Are their parents even analytical enough to help break it down for them, right? How they are versed in the game and their nurture by virtue of what they're surrounded with is how they approach it, and that sometimes has to be deprogrammed in order to get them to start to play correctly, and that's sort of what he's in. But to that point, weeks we've had that team practicing on Saturdays, and then we've had trainings on Sundays, and there's a brilliance to it because like the practices are introducing stuff that's deeper dive for them. It's just it's touching on all the things he's just talking about or is just describing, and it looks a certain way on video where you've got these high end kids and they're but they're having a difficulty executing at the level that they are athletic because they're learning, they're thinking
Mhm.
right now and trying to get it. Now when you let them go the next day and let them just do training stuff, it becomes fluid. But that's not basketball. The
Yeah.
combination of it's basketball,
And
Mhm.
I
right?
think that's where we lost it, bro. Especially if you talk, okay, let's go to the higher level. There's a big argument about, oh, European ball versus American ball. American ball's falling behind it. Well, it's to the point. We do so much training that kids get all this skill and things like that, but that really has nothing to do with the game of basketball. Like, I really don't want to get to if I could drive straight every time, my goal is to drive straight every time. I want to do a move, okay, when somebody cuts me off and I got to do a move. other than that, people really got like a little, maybe a 4 foot, 5 foot lane you could drive in. Maybe hold the ball 0.5 seconds, if not get off of it. Yet, if you see all these clips online, or you see all these people trying to build their training business or whatever, you see a whole bunch of moves that are never used in the game. And if they are using the game, they may be used once, maybe twice. It's
Yeah,
like
and I mean we
the
do.
whole idea of a team concept of basketball has gotten so lost, man. And I
Yeah,
feel like some of these coaches just ride their best kid and
Oh yeah.
could care less about whatever else is out there.
I mean I think that's always been the case, right? Like you go back in the day and look at Jermaine Patterson when he played rec around here.
Yeah.
Like literally, they would go four corners, and by that I mean they'd send the other kids to the four corners in the half court. Like this has been a concept with Daddy Ball and with rec going, and that's why we need to build it up from the ground up and say, hey, this is what it needs to look like. It has to be infused with skill. It has to be infused with IQ and read and reacting and live action learning. Because I mean, if you're not learning to make decisions on the fly in the moment at game speed, then like, what good is it? I
Right.
mean, you're not actually mimicking anything. You're playing at a cone. Again, you're dealing with all these trainers you see online that are some combination of like um, kinesiologist majors that are now like into sports mechanics and separating the right and the left brain and whipping golf balls at you while you catch the tennis ball while the ball's getting right. You know what I mean? Like it's just there's so much of it that doesn't even involve basketball and
Yeah.
like learning to play basketball with other teammates. So that's been something we've certainly doubled down on because we can see it out there. Like it's the kids, don't get me wrong, around here, it's especially on the girls' side, it's at such a very like remedial sort of level where the kids who truly do train through middle school just have their way.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they just have their way. They do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. But that doesn't teach them anything either, right?
Mm.
So now, okay, so you can go have your way and you can go score umpteen points. I mean, and that's to a greater point, even like Nia. We were just talking about it. Like Nia's a great prospect. Nia has played tremendously well. Nia is a very good shooter and skilled, and she tries to play the right way. So that's a wonderful thing. But is she benefited by being in a 1-2-2 zone all the time where she just gets to shoot layups?
Right.
Full court, right? Like where literally she takes the ball, they flip it in front, and she shoots a layup. Okay, that's cool, but like execute an offense.
Right.
You know what I hate more than anything, guys? This is something I hate. You get way ahead in the lead and like you continue to do the same old junk or whatever. I
Yeah.
hate people who don't treat it as a practice. If you're
Right.
25 points ahead, like
Yeah.
start to work on stuff in the half court.
Yeah. Run some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like start to get better. Use it
Yeah.
as a practice with live shell and
Well,
like do stuff.
that's the cross girls problem. If you watch them play, unless it's a steal, run out, or a layup, they're not scoring.
Yeah.
Like if they play a team that literally, if they play a team who got girls who can catch the ball and pass the ball and make a layup here and there, they're gonna struggle, man, because they've kind of gotten away from, okay, let's play basketball.
Yeah.
And they're just a kind of microcosm, I guess, of the whole area. But it can't just be, oh, I'm better than you, more talented than you. Let's just press you to death, and
Yeah.
just because you can't dribble, let's just pretty much scare you into winning
Yeah.
instead of trying to. I mean, you gotta be playing for something. I guess I don't know what these coaches be playing for, but you gotta be playing for something, man. Just
Yeah,
have to
man.
clean up a little bit,
I mean,
like beyond winning. Like,
that's
Yeah.
definitely a pet peeve of mine. You got to be playing for something, and then you got it well beyond winning, especially in an area here where the bar is wherever the bar is night to night, right? Like you got to create a new version of winning every night, especially if you're a good team. If the metric is improvement, right? Because I mean, you're not going to do that with every region game you have to play or whatever you're out of conference makes sense because of proximity. You're going to play a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense. So, you might as well work on stuff. I think that's, a sizable pet peeve. I think people getting lost in the sauce with regards to wins and losses when like, okay, and like, look, cross girls are going to win region or they won region or whatever Matt said. But like that is something that I mean, they'll hang a banner. Don't get me wrong. But
I mean, bro, even like again,
like,
bro, we talk about schools and perception. Like even Ryan's 1,000 point night, like, bro, you got a loaded gym, and then half the gym leaves when she scores it, and it's a 11-6 game, pretty much going into halftime.
yeah, man, and that's when I don't even want to get started on, because I mean, look, first off, 1,000 point game, and you're talking about JV freshman year, right? Like, what are they even counting over there? And then two, there's all the academic impropriety that's been going on over there for years, which is like, what are we valuing? It's the same thing. Amira has 1,000, and she just wants to go celebrate it on her own coach. I mean, that's what it is. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So I mean, so like at the end of the day, these are the people that are guiding the kids, and this is what they're telling them development and getting better looks like is just doing, moving weird. Get in the gym, get better, learn some IQ.
Here's the thing. The last thing I'll say on this is that I don't even care how good you are. Like my only thing is that if you're gonna do it, you should at least try to get to be the best that you are, and you should at least be surrounded by people who. I mean, we got a kid who plays middle school basketball that trained with us all summer, right? Didn't play a lick last year. Came, told me she had 4 points in the game other night and was ecstatic about it, and that she's just playing more. You know what I mean? Like I get just as happy about that as I would as a kid who, okay, I got my first scholarship offer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you're gonna do it and you want to do it, and you owe it to the other people on your team to do it,
Yep.
you should be accountable to your teammates enough to do it. Like at least put your best foot forward, and at least
Well, I
try
mean,
to get the best out of yourself.
Be the best you can be.
That's
and I
it.
think that's, honestly, when Justin and I started doing the 1L thing, and then Matt, you're involved and all that, like it's non-discriminate, discriminating in terms of skill level, in the sense that, I mean, we only have the personnel to offer the amount of training we can offer, and then who comes to us is a whole separate beast. But the reality of it is we could not address the area in terms of getting better, in terms of instilling some IQ, in terms of, having ample skill set, in a way that was comprehensive, when I was just doing the H2 basketball thing, and that just gets to be a bunch of headhunters, and it's you don't have enough kids in the area, so it gets to be like sort of a lost concept except for every third year we have enough kids to run at that massive level. So like, it's been a matter of getting back in the gym with kids that necessarily we haven't been over the years on the 1L level, and it's been really rewarding because they all have their own level they're looking to attain that isn't necessarily college, man. It's being good for high school. It's I didn't get on the court last year. It's I got cut. It's and seeing those successes are a big deal. But that's the way the area gets raised up, is just sort of embracing all comers who like it, and then embracing what their goals are and trying to getting them there. Not everyone has to be a 1%er. Not everyone has to want to play college. They just have to want to be in the gym and put in effort while they're there. And then honestly, high school basketball would look a lot better too.
Yeah, the only ones we don't embrace are those who have parents who just think their child is just the greatest thing since sliced bread and think that they don't have to earn anything.
Yeah.
I think the most beautiful thing about the team that we have with the H2, that 2030 team, is that we had tryouts.
Yeah, and
You
I mean,
had to
that's
make
the
the
thing.
team.
That's the thing, and like we
Just
dealt
love
with
that.
that this week. We've dealt with, parents that are coming at us and be like, "Hey, you got room?" And it's like, "What do you mean room? We're loaded at the end." And
We
if
already
we're
had
not,
tryouts. We had
yeah, we already had
tryouts.
tryouts, and then you weren't there and you knew about them, and there's that sort of stuff. And then um then you've got people who've never ever played a meaningful anything in the area, and then they're like, yeah, I want to play up a couple. Dad, not the kid. The kid never wants that, by the way. It's
The kid
always the
always
dad.
knows.
Yeah, the kid knows what it wants, and then but the dad's like, yeah, I want him to play up a couple of years. Well, I mean, guess what? That's never been the process. The process has been to get in the gym, see who you are versus the other good kids, iron on iron, and then it all comes out in the wash, right? Okay, this is actually where you fit in. This is what your role is. This is what makes sense. But like, everyone wants to circumvent a process. And the reality is that it can't be circumvented. And I don't even mean like our protocols. I mean basketball.
Yeah.
I mean getting better,
Yeah, there's
developing.
you can't, there's no substitute for the work. Like the work is
No.
the work.
No,
especially in this game.
Yeah. And any
Especially
game, and in anything in life, really. I mean, there's no you get out what you put in. There's no substitute for the work. You can't fake that.
yeah, and I
Yep.
would say the one other like thing. This is just sort of like I guess we're speaking on the area, and one of the things um, I guess I would like to gotten into with Coach Fudala a little more. It is for the kids in this area. Again, they need to come to these games to see what it is and isn't, to make sure. But it would be really great if they had if people were real with them early enough so they knew who they were, so that um, it all made sense when they start negotiating with people or when they start going to a school, because you just have too many people right now. And this is a problem in general. You have coaches who, and I call them stipend coaches, and that's not always fair. They could love basketball, they could really want to be a part of it, but it doesn't make them like a psycho parent whose kid's in the gym 50 hours a week, right? So one thing I would like to see, and this is a pet peeve of the area, and actually this happened on this little podcast or whatever you're calling a couple of weeks ago. I think if you're taking a job, and I've seen this a lot this year, and you want to avoid as a coach all these clashes with like the best parents, actually scout a little. Like actually put the time in and scout a little, because they do. They know who they're playing. They know how good the team is. They generally have an idea of what they do. So they actually know when you've been out coached.
Mm-hmm.
They have every idea that you didn't look at this or you didn't listen to this person who knows how they play. And you came in and you lean on that line always, which is, we're just really worried about what we do. And the thing is that that's great, but now you're not giving them the best opportunity to succeed. And so I would like to see like more people happy playing high school ball right
Yeah,
now.
man. It's just giving them the sports experience, man. Like I remember my
Right.
freshman year being petrified, trying out for varsity basketball and running 2 laps around the entire campus, about to fall out, and you know what I mean. And but those are the times I remember, and those are the times that were fun. Like that's what made sports fun, going through and doing the things that you have to do to get the best out of your team. And I didn't
And
win
that,
one state championship, but it was
and I
fun.
also, and I think, man, you have to figure out like what you can take on and what you can't. I mean, once you get to October, whatever it is, and you have tryouts and you're going into a season that starts November 15th or whatever it is, you just don't have time to teach them to dribble.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that as like, oh, a shot across the bow. What I'm saying is you have to put in the requisite skill work per day, but like there might be things you can do to give them a better opportunity to, compete. If you scouted by just schematically putting them in positions that can help them because they have a hard time helping themselves, a
Right.
lot of times. So
Yeah.
anyway, that would be like to a new coach coming in. I feel like that's the big problem. And honestly, that's a behind the scenes thing. We talk about this in the gyms all the time with these kind of parents, and they don't like even know what they're allowed to say, not say. They're all vastly disappointed with the experience because no one matches their energy. So it would just be really great if like those who took the job were very serious about all manners of the job, right? You took it. I get the stipends part of it. I get, mentoring kids is part of it, but so is basketball. So is like fielding a decent product. So is honoring the kid who goes hardest and not the lowest common denominator who just shows up and wanted to get the experience of playing basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not about, always the best kid all the time, but you have to have certain culture leaders, people who drive it forward, and then you got to kind of rally behind all of that. And right now, there's not enough programs that are being led from the top down, and there's not enough kids that are in the gym. But I think that what we do have because of it is a hell of a lot of parity right now.
Yeah, definitely.
So
games are fun. The games are entertaining, to say the least. So
close. I mean, there's a lot of close games right now.
All right, boys, we're gonna bring this thing in for a landing. What else you got?
That's it, man.
Any thoughts? You talked out you're on the U tonight.
Yep.
I got the U.
I don't know.
Let's go, Miami, man.
Destiny. Indiana
Yeah.
feels like a team of destiny, but we shall
They
see.
do.
Well, good stuff tonight, guys. Good talking with Coach Fudala. I'm sure we'll be able to get him back on another time when he's got a little more time, because he does love to talk ball with us. And hopefully they'll make some noise this spring, and we'll have to talk to him a little bit more down the road. But a lot of basketball on tap this week. Get out in those gyms. Let us know what's going on, and we'll see you next weekend for another edition of the One Loco Happy Hour. For Rob Benson and Coach Fish, I'm Justin Jarrett. Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, go Loco.